hopping on now. We're alive, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
he's frozen now.
Okay. I just put my suit to the side right now because I don't want to get it kind of crunched in the seat. But yeah.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Welcome.
I
We're
didn't
so
see
glad
Glenn
you're here.
today, but I did see Bill again for the first time in a few years.
Nice.
Bill Trinan.
Nice.
Bill who? Bill Murray?
Bill Trinan.
Bill Trinan.
Oh, Bill. He was in LA.
Mm-hmm.
He was also in New York. So I wonder if he's traveling from experience to experience.
He's got to be.
Cool. We might see him in Dallas.
Yeah, I could see him being in Texas next week.
Yeah. So all right, Paul. So we're doing a hype check questions. I'm pretty sure your hype was over the roof already because you
Touched it.
you put your hand. You put your hands on it, Paul. How dare you put your hands?
Oh, so good. Oh, so
Did
cool.
you smell it? Did you smell it?
I gave it a taste test.
Did you do the taste test for the controller? Or
I'm the first person to lick a Nintendo Switch 2.
Really?
No, I didn't.
Wait, did you look at any of the cartridges? I asked you
No,
that in our Discord.
They didn't have the cartridge out and available to lick, so no.
Okay, so when you actually get your first cartridge, will you taste it and report back?
I don't know.
You can't go back. You only have one opportunity.
Okay, see, chat, this goes back to my earlier question when I asked you guys if any of you had honestly licked any of your Switch 1 cartridges. So I'm proud to say that a lot, and no shade to anybody who was curious and who did, but to all of us that said, no, we are not interested in licking our Switch cartridges, we have an aversion to these things. Paul obviously has not thought of this either. So, yeah, that's saying something.
And I've thought about it, and I'm now thinking about doing it. So we'll see. We'll see. But Paul, we got to first. You can answer the 2 hype questions we already asked, and then after that, we're gonna get into your experience. We gotta pick your head, pick your brain, give us your thoughts. If you have any videos to share, send me the link so I can highlight them, and then I can go ahead and highlight on the podcast so people can see.
They're uploading now.
Most anticipated game. They want you the first game you want to play on Nintendo Switch 2 once you have it. I mean, you already played it, but like when you get your own, what's that first game you want to play, and what is the first accessory you want to buy once you get your Nintendo Switch?
Let me see if I could go backwards with that. First accessory, the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller.
Yeah.
That thing feels
Good choice.
so good.
Really?
Oh, I like it. It's a big difference. It's a really good quality improvement. And I love the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. That is my controller of choice. And this just feels more premium. The plastic feels of a higher guard. The little bit of a division in the controller face versus the prongs is just enough so different that, I mean, it already was different between those 2 types of plastic on the regular Pro controller, but like now, a little bit more pronounced. That it's kind of elegant. The top colors being different, good. There is no joke when it comes to the Easy Glide sticks. How Nintendo was saying, we went back to the labs and we wanted to make the new analog sticks really smooth and no noise, no bounce back. They are slick. There's something different about them. And I was playing Street Fighter violently with it. I was dashing back and forth to get the pink sparks in Mario Kart World. I was not abusing it, but I was putting it through the test, and I'm like, dang, these analog sticks are sweet. So first accessory to purchase for me, definitely Pro Controller. First game that I'll be playing on my console is also the first game that I played today, and that is Mario Kart World. The game was so much fun, and I'm surprised by, not surprised, but like, it might be my favorite game of the show. And I don't really have one game of the show, but it might win just because it played so well. So I'm not saying necessarily overall at the end of 2025, will it possibly be my game of the year? No, I think there's something else that might top it, but like, the game played so well, as that pickup, quick jump in, and like there's nothing else that you need to do about lore or story or sit down and get ready to embrace yourself for a few hour experience. Like I could go ahead and have 16 minutes, or I could have 3 hour run with Mario Kart World. It's just different types of good, the different modes. It's captivating and like, oh heck yeah. So that's the first one I'm gonna play. And like, what's my most anticipated game of the year so far? Was that the last question?
That was it. That was it. The accessory and the first game. A game and an accessory.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have a third question here. Justin Richards, $5 super chat, say, Paul, Gail, is the D-pad on the same as a Switch Pro controller, or is it better?
Better. So I played Street Fighter 6, and I'm a huge Street Fighter guy. Now, I didn't get to play, a new Street Fighter game necessarily on Nintendo Switch. I mean, I did play, of course, Ultra Street Fighter 2 back at launch, and then Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. So I guess the first one was technically kind of new because it wasn't released before with Evil Ryu and Violent Ken. But you know what I mean. I didn't like Nintendo Switch didn't have Street Fighter 4 or 5. So getting to compare exactly how would a game like that, a 3D based 2D fighter play, I can't say that. But I have played plenty of other games like Mortal Kombat 11, Mortal Kombat 1. So anyhow, from my initial playtest, Street Fighter 6 was really solid, and I think the D-pad on this controller is better. I can't tell you like it is actually internal in the guts designed differently. Like I haven't seen the schematics and could report on that, but for what it's worth, it feels better. What will probably be a really good test, because Street Fighter is very rolly. It's all down to down, forward, down to down, back motions. Like you create quarter circles. What's really going to be a test for how good is the D-pad is like Tetris 99 or Tetris in general, because you need really good precision up, down, left, right with that game. So that will probably, I'll be able to answer a little bit better when it's like a 2D platformer or something like that, or Tetris. Yeah.
That's awesome. And so let me go ahead and share my screen here really quickly. And then we have Paul Gill here reporting here on X. The Nintendo Switch 2 experience is amazing. Thank you, Nintendo. I already love this console so freaking much.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm going to play on this one?
Sure. It's short. It's like 40 seconds or something.
Okay, let's do it. All right, let's go ahead and play this one right here.
Oh, wait.
Paul Gill Network here, and it is April 11th, 2025. If you've been watching my videos so far, you know I'm at the Nintendo Switch 2 experience here in Los Angeles, California. I just got to play Mario Kart World, and wow, what an experience it was. First, I played in this beautiful home console mode on the TV, and then I got to play on this amazing 8-inch diagonal Nintendo Switch 2. What an experience. The game is fast, it's fluid, it's colorful, it's big, it's bright, the controls are responsive, the sticks glide well, the buttons feel good, like the game is so much fun. I can't wait to play more. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more as I continue to deep dive in this amazing system.
That's awesome. This is a good report.
Short and sweet, because the rest of the videos are like me playing. So you are able to record your footage, but nice. As you've probably seen from Thunderstash and different folks within our community and others online, they prefer you have like your shoulder in the shot or a piece of you in it. So I just had my tripod, and I wasn't even recording at the best because I was recording with the forward-facing camera instead of the rear. But that's because I wanted to see myself when I'm talking to the camera turning.
That's a good question. They do allow you to bring a tripod?
Yeah.
Good.
Nice.
I was so worried about that. I'm like, how do I record? I'm like, what do I do? Because I'm going by myself. I'm going to meet Joycey there. I'm not going to be bothering Joycey. Joycey, can you come record me? Because I want her to enjoy her spot. But if you can bring a tripod and just set things up and everything, and then go ahead.
Little tripod, and it goes to about like 5 feet tall, so it was tall enough to get me in frame and go horizontal, and how long? Really pool really nice.
How long were you there? The 2 hours, or were you there a little extra?
So two things, because I see other people in the chat asking also, like, aren't you supposed to go Sunday? I am going back on Sunday. I gotta get a bonus in. So today, a bonus on top of a bonus. You're supposed to have 2 hours. They let me have 3.
Okay.
And you're supposed to have 1 day, and they let me have 2. So
Okay.
Sunday I go back, and Sunday I'm taking my son. So
Okay.
we're gonna play together. Today was just me. Oh, and you've seen the merch that they give, right? The little bit of swag.
No.
Yeah. You'll probably get this as well.
But I'm only going 1 day because I have to fly to Dallas and then coming back. So that'll be this 1 day for me. Even if they offer the second day, I won't be able to stay.
They give you this really sweet backpack.
No.
Nice.
And this is like a good quality backpack. I'm the king of E3 merch, and I've got hundreds and hundreds of plastic bags and different types of bags, but like this would be of the higher tier quality of swag that a company would give you at an E3, because it's got a few zippers. It's like actual like backpacking material, and you've got like water bottle thing here and these little clip doodads over there, and you got another zipper and pockets, and like this is a good piece of merch. I mean, Nintendo, they didn't go the cheap route and be like, yeah, here's a plastic little grocery store bag, which I would still be cool. Like I wouldn't not appreciate that, but like
I want to go just for that backpack, because that's like one. I'm sure they're only going to be giving away the experiences, right? It's not something they're going to be selling.
I don't think so. I mean, you'll see it on eBay, but I don't think they're selling this bag.
Yeah. So I'm happy about the tripod. How was the experience like entering? Like what information? Like when you is it like the code ID or what, something like that? How was that?
Yeah, you go to the check-in and you do supply your, well, in my case, like the driver's license, the photo ID that accommodates the QR code, and you scan in. And Justin Richards says, "How much for the bag? Come on, I can't sell it. No sell." Yeah, and then you get a lanyard. Oh, I should have brought that too. Hang on.
Josie, we're gonna have a good time, Josie. We're gonna have a good time.
We're gonna have a very good time.
Be awesome. I'm already excited.
You get this pretty sweet lanyard.
I love lanyards.
Here's your attendee badge that tells you you're attendee, and then your QR code over there.
Yeah.
And then on this side, it tells you what kind of person you are, because there are some people that are roaming around, but they don't have the opportunity to play. They can only observe. Like if you're an adult with a child and the child got in, but not you, and you're just the adult supervisor or whatever, you can't play. You can just be there. But this is, specifically a gameplay passport. And on the back, I will say, not everyone is guaranteed to get the backpack. You do have to play 6 different titles and get them checked off, not including Mario Kart and not including Donkey Kong Bonanza.
But is it possible for me to play the 6 titles?
Oh yeah, there's like a dozen or so, or like 14 different games, and you have 2 hours. So unless if you super deep dive in Mario Kart and like all you're doing for your 2 hours is just getting Mario Kart, then you won't have the chance to play other ones. But like 2 hours is a sufficient amount of time. They don't let it get overwhelming with people. I mean, there's a couple hundred people in there per session, maybe, and they give you 2 hours. They've got like 100+ kiosks set up of, a couple dozen Mario Karts, a few dozen Donkey Kongs, a dozen or so Metroids, half a dozen Street Fighters, half a dozen Hades 2, several Civilization 7s, maybe like a half a dozen Nintendo Switch Online, getting to play with the GameCube controller, which is pretty awesome, and the NSO titles. And then they have a mature rated section for Cyberpunk 2077 and Yakuza, and there's like a good 8 or so for each of them. A couple dozen like Mario Party Jamboree, maybe another half a dozen, what's it called? Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I think 2 Breath of the Wilds, 2 Tears of the Kingdoms, a good half a dozen Harry Potter or Hogwarts Legacy, I should say.
Yeah.
There's quite a few games. Like I just spit off a good like dozen or 14. I realized that I said the word dozen and half dozen quite a bit, but yeah, as long as you so you play the game and like one of the representatives at the Nintendo booth in that little area will say, how did you like Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and any questions, and then like that person will put the initials on the back, like they've been instructed to put M for Metroid, or H for Hades, or I got more than enough because being there for 3 hours, I got to play definitely more than the minimum. I didn't get to play everything, but since I'm going back on Sunday, I'll make sure that I play the rest of what I missed out on, just because I played kind of like the fullest extent of each game instead of just a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you want the backpack, all you have to do is play a game for 2 minutes and leave. But you want to play more than 2 minutes, because the Donkey Kong demo, that's the other thing. They didn't rush you at all. It's actually probably more meaningful of a playtime than at a lot of events, because it's only a couple hundred people at a time, for 2 hours, and then move on, and then the next group gets to go. And there's so many different TVs set up that like everybody, there's no lines. Remember going to E3? Because you've been to E3, right?
I went to one, like the very last one in person, and then
line could be hours long. It could be hundreds of people long. Here you've got like
I remember the huge lines. It was just
maybe you have 1 or 2 people in line for something, and it goes by fast. Donkey Kong, for instance, is a massive 20-minute demo. My video, probably this is why it's taking a while for my videos to upload onto YouTube, is because each video is fairly long, with Donkey Kong Bonanza being a 20-minute video. I hit record. Hey everyone, Paul Gale Network here, and I'm about to play Donkey Kong Bonanza. And sure enough, 20 minutes later, the demo ended, and like there goes my video, is done. But I got to experience what is the game like and dive in, and not just, oh yeah, cool, and done. No, you got to really experience it.
It'd be cool if they let you bring your own little capture card to capture gameplay.
Yeah, it's.
So, how did the second trip come to be? How did the Sunday trip come to be?
So that was the one that I initially got, was scheduled for Sunday.
Sunday, okay.
So today's counted as my bonus.
Okay. And how did you get today?
So today, basically, and Furukawa was like, "Yeah, we've got to get this guy in." So,
wow.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly how it happened.
Yeah. All right. So, hopefully for us in Dallas, it's the same. I mean, hopefully like nobody goes, so we can just be there the entire time and just have all the games all to ourselves.
I know, right?
Right. I'm relieved that you
What time are you guys scheduled?
Same time.
Well, like what time? 10, 12? What's your?
I honestly don't remember.
I
would say
right now.
Early, just in case.
I got the thing. I was looking at the.
Yeah, it does say come early. I think it said either a half hour or an hour early.
I'll be there early because my flight arrives at 9, and I'm taking an Uber from the airport to the event. So yeah, I'll be there pretty early. Then my flight leaves at 9 o'clock at night. So I hope they leave me there till night, at 9 o'clock at night. That way I can, play for a couple, maybe 5-6 hours. 11:15 a.m. to 12:15 p.m.
11:15 to 12:15. I don't think they're gonna give you an hour. I think they're gonna give you 2 hours.
No, it says it says it's a 2-hour thing.
Okay.
But yeah, but I think that's the is it the arrival? Maybe? I don't know. I'll be there earlier before. Anyway, I'll be there.
Hold on, I found it. Yeah, remember to bring your ticket. Wait, it said. Wait, I'm trying to find the part where it says to actually get there early.
We look forward to seeing you there. For all the latest event details information below. If you're invited, other adults, they'll need to accept terms by logging into Nintendo account. Life happens. We get it. If you guys can't make it, just press the click cancel. And I'm not gonna cancel. I don't know.
Oh, here it is.
No,
Plan your arrival for your time to entry window. You may arrive up to 15 minutes early to check in. Late arrivals may not be able to enter the event at the discretion of Nintendo. After check-in, you may need to wait in a queue prior to the start of your gameplay experience.
So did you wait in the queue, Paul?
No, I walked into the check-in and then I instantly. Oh, well, I guess if you call this, I mean, you'll see. I haven't put up some of my photos or any of the photos from the event yet, actually. No, I didn't. I will be. Now I just walked straight through to the guest services, like little check-in spot, and then I hopped in and they had this big. Hey, Josh. They had this big Nintendo Switch 2 like greeting thing where you could stand in front of and take cool photos in front of. And then I guess the little waiting room area is a non-playable section, but where you could pick up the Nintendo Switch 2, take off the Joy-Con 2, snap them back on, record shots, see the box art of the system.
Ooh. Okay, so that's like an area for you to experience the system by itself and look at the physical features of the system.
Yeah, that's actually, I took a video of the first time my hand touched the system. I'm like, all right, here we go. It's history in the making. He goes, I'm waiting for it. Like I felt the light, and
that's not a cue. That's not a cue. That's an experience.
That's an experience, man. Yeah, and actually, Mario Kart takes up quite a bit of my footage, but that's because I played it 3 times in a row. First, I gotta make a comment on this. The Joy-Con 2 in the grip actually feel really good. I feel like it's a big improvement. Maybe it's because of the size being a little bit bigger, or they changed the ergonomics just so much in the curvature of the grip itself. But, the Joy-Con now and the Joy-Con grip feel better than they did last gen, and that's how I first played it. So on TV mode with the 2 Joy-Con. Then I played it in portable mode, just the screen, not docked to the TV. And then I played it a third time on the TV with the Pro Controller, and all 3 were really good experiences. And I recorded footage on each one. So analog sticks. Excellent. Rumble, really good. I might have liked the Rumble the most, though, in Donkey Kong Bonanza, because you're smacking stuff so much. The game just feels visceral, and it's an improvement in the HD Rumble department.
Hey, Paul.
I'll talk the whole rest of the podcast. I'll talk too much. Yes, sure.
Quick question. Are there certain games they allow you to play with either the Joy-Cons or with the Pro Controller, or do you have an option at each booth, or how does that work?
It's definitely whatever they set up at that kiosk. Like Street Fighter 6, for instance, the first time I played Street Fighter 6 wasn't my favorite way to play. It was in the new Joy-Con horizontal shaking mode. That's not Street Fighter for me. No offense. It's gonna be there. Maybe like the younger sibling or the inexperienced gamer that just wants to shake, but like that's not Street Fighter. Over here, though, in this little section is here you go. Have the Pro Controller. So, it's different little sections. You could play in a different setup. Metroid Prime, though, for instance, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Here are the 2 Joy-Cons split apart, and here's a mouse pad or a desk pad, and you could use it if you would like, or you could just play in dual analog mode. And I went, and it was so snappy to go from playing with dual analogs, the way I would be playing, Metroid Prime 3 on Wii, for instance, although
Mhm.
that's not quite dual analog, but you know what I mean, like a Metroid Prime HD remaster, for instance, on Nintendo Switch, and then like, let me just see, boop, Joy-Con. Oh man, the mouse just triggered so fast. Super cool. That mouse response was great, and I like that. Hey, if I want to go back, boom, put it back up, and I'm playing in dual analog mode again, which is probably going to be my preferred method. Oh, speaking of Metroid, it was the one game. Well, I guess they all want you to experience it the way they want you to experience it, but Metroid Prime 4 specifically, it did say what mode you were in, and that was in performance mode. So it was locked at 1080p in the 120 frames per second. You couldn't switch it to 4K 60. I actually wanted to play in 4K 60, but I'll tell you what, it looks so good that as I was playing it, I was like, which mode am I looking at right now?
Right.
The fact that I had to question it tells you, dang, the visual fidelity is so clean that I wasn't positive. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm playing in 1080p, but I wouldn't have been too surprised if they said 4K. I'm like, damn, because it looks really good. So that means it's going to look that much better. And for me, I'm not like frame rate super sensitive. I mean, I'll play 30 frames per second all day long and be happy with it if it's a smooth 30. That doesn't bother me. So for this game, I'm probably going to go opt 60, 4K, crank up the visuals, give it to me. But I will say the 120 frames per second was like, it was a buttery smooth experience. Like that game is probably going to be a lot of people's goatee, myself included, potentially.
Awesome.
But we'll see. We'll see.
And Justin Richards with the 5 gifted. That deserves like a little dance, like a. Thank you so much, Justin, for your support. Appreciate it. And we have 5 new members on the Odyssey. We got Christopher. We got Boo Mini, the gifter herself. We got Frost. We got KY Gardening and Best Buy Butter. Hey, Best Buy Butter, do you know when the pre-order starts? Thank you so much, Justin. That is amazing. Thank you so much. That's too much. Appreciate it so much. All right. Paul. I want to know more, Paul. By the way, welcome back, Josh. How you doing, man?
Hey, glad to be back.
Everything went well?
Perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, Paul, Josh was here and then he had to go back to some errands and then come back. So yeah. So yeah, go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
I got to play Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and I'm a big fan of Kirby and the Forgotten Land on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
This will be the way to play it. If you've never played it before, like if you like Mario at all or 3D platformers at all, this game is going to be for you. It's already an excellent title. Now it just looks that much better. It runs that much better. And the new visual upgrade with every new element coming crashing into the land, every new mix of purple and blue hues is just so pristine and clean. I loved it. I didn't play, but I will play it on Sunday because I'm just curious. But I got to see it close enough. But just looking next door to me, next to Kirby, was Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Both of those look really good. And, Breath of the Wild is my favorite game of all time. It finally topped off enough time for me. And
Did you play Breath of the Wild?
Right up there in my top several also. And both of them looked like, despite not being remakes, the difference in visual bump up was enough that this barely scratches the surface of what a new Zelda from the ground up is going to look like on this system.
Oh my God.
That's
really crazy.
I actually made a little bit of a verbal comparison.
We were talking about that same exact point with Mario Kart. And how Mario Kart, it is an $80 game, but how just massive the world it is, and that's just the Mushroom Kingdom. And we were like, when they can add Hyrule in there, and Hyrule is a huge map. You can race from corner to corner, and all the free roaming you can do in Hyrule with Mario Kart. And they can add Animal Crossing. They got to add other worlds. It is called Mario Kart World, but they've only added the Mushroom Kingdom. So it's like there is so much potential for that game to grow even more, which is justifying the $80 on it. You know what I mean?
I have to ask, like super quick. Paul, did you play Breath of the Wild or Tears?
No, not today.
Okay.
I might as well have played them in terms of seeing them close enough. Just I didn't officially try them out today, but I will on Sunday. Okay. Just looking though, I'm like, that looks snappier. It's a lot more clear. It is going to be a better experience. It might be good enough that even someone who has played through them a couple of times already might be willing to double dip or triple dip, but especially for a newcomer, it's going to be 1,000% worth it. But they both look really nice. Here's a cool little thing. Without spoiling anything, I mean, you've seen videos online, so I guess it's not spoiling it, but one of the areas in Donkey Kong Bonanza, when you start off, is a very blue sky oriented background, followed by in the foreground, or preceded by in the foreground, yellow thatchy like grass weeds, right? And I was like, dang, this looks so much better than the same opening shot in Tears of the Kingdom, where you are in a blue sky area, brown kind of ground, and yellow, weeds and tall grass and stuff like that with the yellow trees. Just kind of similar color scheme in both games, but on significantly different hardware. And then just the raw textures and the polygon power and the oomph that the DK gave over that. And like the art style, I'm not knocking it. Like, I love the art style of Tears of the Kingdom, and that area was always a pleasure to be in because there was kind of less going on usually in those areas in terms of overall amount of enemies and stuff like that. That Nintendo really shined with it, but it just makes me realize, like, oh man, we're going to see Nintendo's artists go wild this generation more than ever before because it's taken all of their skills and now unlocking it because they've got more horsepower, and the significant jump is the biggest that Nintendo has had in a long time in between two hardware generations. So we're going to be eating good this gen.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, the happiness I got, I don't even know how full Mario Kart is, but the happiness I got, I could already tell. Dude, the difference between 70 and 80, it's not going to be significant. When you have put in 300 hours into this game 2 years from now, you're not going to look back and say, man, I would have had a little more fun if I paid $10 less. No, you're going to say, this game gave me 300 hours of fun. This was awesome.
Yeah.
And that $10 is going to be a distant memory. You're like, you know what? I ate 2 bags of chips less in the last 2 years, and that paid the difference for this $10. I went and had one less fast food.
One less egg.
Last 24 months, and that was my $10.
Yeah, one less egg.
Yeah. I mean,
that's how I look at it because it was so fun. The rubber, the bounciness in the wheels. Oh, I didn't even get into like the animations on the characters' faces, and the tracks are so much bigger, so much deeper, so much more volume all around. And they have to be because there's 24 characters, and that means 24 items and explosions going off. There's a lot of work that went into this game. And the modes, the knockout mode or knockout tour, oh, that was crazy. Like, I had a really good time. I didn't win. It starts off like finish in the top 20 to move on. Then the top 18, 16, 14. I'm like, and then finished in the top 8, and I got 9. I'm like, there goes my time with Mario Kart. I'm done. But I was laughing. I was smiling the whole time on the edge of my seat.
Who'd you race with?
It's cool. Oh, so since I played 3 times, I went with Mario as my first. Any game, I got to pick Mario number 1. That's my guy. Then I picked Donkey Kong because I wanted to see his new model up close, and I felt like he had the most significant change that I owed DK my number 2. And since I got to play 3 times, My wife's favorite animal is a cow, and they had a purple motorcycle. And my wife loves purple as her favorite color, so I picked cow with the purple motorcycle as my third pairing, and it was just cute, fun. And there's a lot of different like costumes for Mario and for Peach and everybody. Like, it's cool.
I
It's cool.
love costumes. Is that I
Really
don't know
cool.
if that's cringy or corny or whatever, but I love the costumes.
The cow is the star. The cow is the star of the game. Is that by far the cow is the star of the game. And look, I was looking at the map, Paul, as we were talking about earlier, and you know, the Mushroom Kingdom, the castle's right in the middle, kind of calling this the entire Mushroom Kingdom, with Donkey Kong being part of it, right? And so that's why we're kind of like, wow, this is insane. Justin Richards with the 10. Paul Gill, compare Mario Kart World to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe using food references.
Ooh,
Okay.
I like this question.
Oh. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe
Uh-huh.
was already a
Food
cheeseburger
references.
that was a satisfying cheeseburger that had lettuce, tomato, pickles, and onions on it. But Mario Kart World is a beefier cheeseburger made of a higher quality meat that actually is a double cheeseburger, because not only is the patty better, but there are two patties in there. And not
Wagyu.
only is the extra special cheese there, but there's a couple of different slices of cheese, and there's 4 cheeses total instead of 2. And the tomatoes they used weren't like from the store, they were from a garden fresh tomatoes, so fatter, darker red tomatoes. The type of bread they used was a better quality bun, and they had like a special sauce in addition to the lettuce and the pickles and the onions, a special sauce, like whatever your favorite sauce is, like teriyaki sauce or a little bit of extra
What restaurant are we
red,
talking about here?
that, or chili. I like chili in my burgers. I love chili cheeseburgers, or like a pineapple for an extra little bit of oomph. That's Mario Kart 8, because it's the same formula, it's the same type of meal, but the meal is thicker quality, enriched, bigger, and more in it. That's about it. Yeah, it's a bigger, better cheeseburger, and
You describe the burger you eat in the game, basically.
oh, Blue Moon said bacon. Now I'm making chat hungry. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Now I made myself hungry talking about my burger obsession.
You literally describe the burger in the game.
Yeah.
The one the cow eats.
Nice.
Oh man. Oh man. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Paul was describing like you know, how everything is so much bigger, right? And there's so much detail everywhere else. And then we're looking at this little, we're calling it a little map because it's tiny right now, but it's huge. So imagine what Paul was describing and looking at this map and just being you a tiny little car driving this entire world. And I'm like I said, I am convinced this is just the beginning of it. This is one of the areas of the world for Mario Kart World. When it's all said and done, it's gonna end up being the biggest Mario Kart ever created.
Definitely. Yeah.
Was it a little jarring not hearing Charles Martinet?
Oh, so that's a tough one for me, because
Ah man, I was just listening to Charles Martinet this morning. I'm like playing.
I'm a huge fan of Charles, and you know, he's become a really great in real life friend for the last 20 years. So personally, I'm interested in his best interest because I like him and I root for him and I want him to be happy, and you know, nothing is more important for him than having been Mario in this industry and to have contributed. So not hearing him anymore, it's a little bit of a personal, oh man, I wish he still had it, even though we are in a fine place now in terms of his voice. But as far as the sound goes, taking away my subjective nature of I'm rooting for Charles and I want him to have it, Kevin Afghani is doing a fine job. And like, you know, even though in Super Mario Bros. Wonder you could tell a slight difference, it didn't detract from it being Mario, it sounding like Mario. It just is Mario. It wasn't that big of a departure like Chris Pratt's Mario in the movie. That didn't sound like our normal Mario. In Mario Kart World, same thing. Tiny bit of a difference, yeah, you could tell, but it's not gonna make you think, this isn't Mario. No, it is. It's just, Kevin's role was to pretty much closely mimic and continue on what Charles Martinet established over the last 31 years.
Yeah, I mean, he set the bar. He created the voice. Charles Martinet created the voice of Mario the way we know him now and the way we're always going to know him. Every other voice actor that comes after, even what's his name again? The
Kevin
Afghani. Even after him is going to be Charles's Mario. They're going to be imitating and trying to mimic because Charles created the voice.
Unless if Nintendo ever wants to radically depart from it, which I don't think they would want to. Why? Like you said, Mike, that is going to be Charles's voice recreated forever.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's see here. I went ahead. There was trying to be funny comment in the comments. I'm not gonna call it troll. Saying pre-orders are live. I went ahead checked anyway just to make sure. No pre-orders are not live yet. Everything is still.
That is just mean. That's just mean.
But I mean, I'm not gonna ignore it completely. I'll check just in case so that if they really are, I can say it here. But they're not live.
No, because everybody's Twitter would be on fire. Everybody's phones would be going off at the moment.
Yeah, you're right. Especially if I'm signed up to Wolf. It's a new service called Wolf. It sends you a text message, a fax. It sends you an email. It sends you a telegram. It sends you they knock on your door. Do
they send it by Three-Eyed Raven?
Was this Ryan's business?
Yeah, from Parks from The Office.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. He was. He even sent you a fax, so you get everything. You hear the printer going off. So, all right. So with that, I think we're good for the Q&A, guys. What do you think? Ready for Q&A?
I am.
We got some questions in the chat. We got some questions.
We like questions.
All right, Nevada Brawler. Can't wait until Switch 2 release. I am so psyched. Guys, we all share Nevada Brawlers.
Enthusiasm.
My hype level after hearing Paul, I didn't know it could get any higher, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've been feeling a little low for the past month or two. I don't know if they call that things, but I've been going over a lot of stuff emotionally, right? And so I even considered not going to the experience. I'm like, do I really have to do I really want to go? Am I going to add any value? Am I going to say anything different from somebody else who said something online or a video? Especially when there's videos came out from New York, came out from this experience from where Paul came from. And I got a lot of encouragement on that post. Plus today, I got even more encouragement with Paul's personal story. And I'm like, I'm hyped. I'm back on the hype train. And I cannot wait. We're only right now. It is the 11th. Okay, it is the 11th. Not this week. Not this Friday. Not this Friday coming up, but the next Friday is when we're gonna have our experience.
Yay!
And it's gonna be.
I get to touch it.
I wonder if there's a chance that you guys will get to play a different version of Mario Kart after the direct.
Good point. I didn't think about that.
We get to get.
Wow, I didn't think about that, Mike. I didn't think about that.
I didn't think about that either. I'm like, what the heck? What if what if they give us a Switch 2?
Okay, Mike, you're doing too much.
For us?
But playing a different level or a different area that's only known about after the direct would be cool.
That'll be crazy. That'll be awesome. We
definitely could add value to the conversation.
For real. Yeah. So, see, that's actually a good point. That's a good point. I didn't realize that was after that. And Josh, five again, Paul. Do you have to maintain balance during a grind in Mario Kart World? That's a good question.
I pulled off a grind a few times. Not every time I attempted it, so I just have to get better at doing it in the first place. But I'm trying to remember, did I struggle with the left and right? I don't think so. I think when I realized my mic could be a little bit closer, so I should sound better now. Sorry. I don't think so, but I don't want to say no because I grinded for just a couple of seconds and then I bounced off. So I'm not sure.
So,
I don't know if it's like Tony Hawk like though, where you really have.
And follow up question to that. References.
Did it feel like Tony Hawk grinding at all, or was it just kind of like just happening?
See, it happened when I initiated it, and I don't think there was a chance to fall off or like refine my left-right wiggle. You know what I mean? Like in Tony Hawk.
And that's kind of what it looks like just from everything we've seen too.
You mentioned that there was something turned on so that you can stay on the track, or maybe it'll make it easier for you to play at a time.
The drive assist,
yeah.
Yeah, at least during one of the times, I did notice like, oh, the little yellow light that blinks on the back of your cart, like when the Mario Kart 8 had that same thing for that matter. Like that game had a few things. One was like to always propel you forward, and the other one was to not let you fall off. I think one of the times I played it was one of them was on. I usually prefer not to have them on, but I don't mind them. Didn't mind it being on. Like, it was fun.
All right. Thank you so much, Paul, for sharing that information. That literally brought a hype to another level, and I really can't wait.
You're definitely going to enjoy it. Your community is going to enjoy watching you play. You'll have plenty more awesome comments to share and contribute, so don't worry about that. And at the end of the day, you're just going to have fun. And instead of having to wait, 54 more days, you're going to play it now. Well, or next week. Like instead of having to wait 47 more days, you get to play it a little bit early and bring some of that hype back to your audience, and it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
And you and Joyce get to hang out, and that's fun. Joyce get to hang out. That's fun.
I got find a Culver's. I have to see if there's any Culver's in Dallas.
For real?
I'm gonna check right now. Actually, we'll have a mini podcast from Culver's.
All right. First question from the super chat. Platoon player Big Man is here, and it's a celebrity. We have a celebrity in the house, right?
Nice.
Mike, you think the Switch 2 pre-orders are getting announced soon? Well, yeah, because it's coming out on June 5th. We're less than 2 months from that, and so we're having a direct in about 6 days. Nintendo has to announce a new pre-order date for us, either from here to the June 5th, April 17th direct, or sometime after, in order for us to be able to pre-order, right? United States and Canada folk need to get our Switches on, right? So we all expect Nintendo to be able to announce a pre-order date within the 90-day ceasefire from the tariff. So hopefully that's a thing. Next question: do we even know if there's any actual physical copies of the new Mario Kart World? Do you know, Paul? Did you get that information? Do you know I'm pretty sure there's a physical copy, right? That game is huge, though. How big is that game?
There is, because certain boxes that are coming in the bundle say it includes a game card.
Okay. So it's not just the digital.
I think there's like 23 gigabytes in the physical copy of Mario Kart World.
Yeah. That's fine. Those cards go up to 64, 65 gigabytes, so it's fine. Yeah, yeah. So there will be physical copies of that for sure. All right, who wants to take the next one? I'll get to Joycey.
Okay, thank you, Christopher, for your question. Will Age of Calamity see an upgrade? An upgrade from what?
For Switch 2, like like visual upgrade and stuff.
Oh, now I'm confusing it with Age of Imprisonment. My bad. So Age of Calamity, I'm just gonna imagine that it's just gonna run better on Switch 2.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine. I don't know if it's gonna get like a specific upgrade, but for me, I just didn't have any issues with Age of Calamity either. I didn't have any issue with the Warriors games when I played the original one and when I played Age of Calamity. So I'm sure that it's gonna I'm guessing it'll just run smoother because people said that there's a lot of frame drops. I didn't have that issue.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I can give everyone good news with this question. Every game from Switch 1 and Switch 2 will run better and look better. They've already confirmed that case, right? Some games are going to get
okay.
Yeah, some games are going to get upgrades, like the major big first party games like Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. I know there are some free games that are getting patches. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is one of them. There's other I forgot Mario Party, not Mario Party, the other one. Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door, I think is one of them. But there's a list of free games that are going to get free patches to them, make them look better, run better. But overall, every game is going to benefit from the AI upscaling, the LSS from the Nintendo Switch 2. This is also pertaining to NSO GameCube. This is something nobody's talking about. The games are going to be HD. They're going to be upscaled also. So the Wind Waker we're going to play on Nintendo Switch GameCube is going to look just like the Wind Waker on HD. It's not the same game, but visually.
I did play Wind Waker. So,
And what do you think?
I'm going to cut you off, but I did play Wind Waker today on Nintendo Switch 2, and they give you a couple of options. One, you could just play the game how it is by default. Two, you could play with a CRT filter, so you have a little bit of lines like a little bit of an older school TV from the era. However, it is in now high resolution, so it doesn't rework the graphics to have that little bit of a glowy nature, a little bit of a different volume in the polygon count that the Wii U HD version of the game did, but it does look better than it did on GameCube. So it's actually it's the GameCube build, but more crisp, more clear in HD. And I think that's going to be fine for a lot of people because that game's look was pretty much timeless. It's like you look at Aladdin, and Aladdin in VHS was nice. And if you look at Aladdin now in 4K Blu-ray, they didn't change up the art. It's just more clear. That's the Wind Waker for you. It's a game that looked so fine when it came out that just now modernizing the resolution is a way to keep the classic art style timeless and not be held back by new TV standards. But I do think that Nintendo will eventually port over the HD version of it in some capacity, or bring it up to 4K, or add something else in. But Wind Waker right now was cool today. And playing with a GameCube controller, so cool. I love that it's the GameCube controller that's wireless and not the Wavebird, because I have a Wavebird. I never owned a wireless GameCube controller because they never made one. This is the first time.
That's good. That's awesome. And so and then picture what Paul said about how good the GameCube controller game looks, Wind Waker, and this is to all of the NSO games from GameCube. They're all gonna look better. And eventually they're gonna bring in more games in there. Even I saw Pokemon Stadium right all the way at the end of the presentation towards the corner. Animal Crossing, if you've never played the first one, you'll get to play on an NSO. Eventually it'll make it there, and in a higher resolution too. So
good.
Win-win for everyone,
Yes.
All right, let me see here. We got 5 more questions here. Mark Brawler said a Q&A. This is for the Q&A. We are in the Q&A. Whenever you register to pre-order for the Nintendo Switch store, and they say only NSO members who have paid for 12 months or more have 50 hours play. Really? Is that what they say? It says whenever you register to pre-order for Nintendo Switch store, and
That is correct.
So it says when you register on the Nintendo store, you only qualify to pre-order through that means if you are a paid member for at least 12 months and have more than 50 hours. Well, I mean, I guess everybody here in the chat. I mean, we all qualify for that pre-order. But that's also a good way to get the scalpers out of the way. You know, those new accounts, the newer accounts they create to buy more than one. You know, it has to be that one account with NSO. And yeah, that's a good call out. See here. Meaning the right stick level to stay on the grind. Okay, this is for Paul earlier. And anyone know anyone how many punches a Switch 2 can take?
It just depends who hits it.
All right. If I hit it, I would say half a punch. Paul hits it. Maybe like a thumb.
I can't see Paul hitting any Nintendo product, no matter like gun to his head or not. I don't think he'd do it.
I don't either.
Paul rather, you know, I think fist to a break than a Switch.
Yeah.
You know,
Bring me too much pain.
and we got with running AAA games now, do you think the battery will take a bigger hit? Yeah, I mean,
it's confirmed.
Yeah, right now the battery time is from 2 to 4 hours, depending on the game, right? I'm guessing they've already kind of placed this. They've tested bigger games and they brought it down to 2 hours. But hopefully, when you're playing those games on the go, you have maybe a battery pack or something else, you know, to help you with that. Or you're playing it on dock mode, right? I do have, by the way, an accessory that I'm for Switch 2, which is a battery that goes onto the Switch, and it works for Switch 1 and Switch 2. And so I'm guessing they made that battery pack just because they knew that AAA games were going to make it, and they consume more power. So I'll release that video very soon. And if you guys, I recommend I release a video today with accessories, which I'm going to do every single Friday now. Now that we're back to normal, I'm so happy. No more rumors and leaks and stuff like that. I was so tired of all that stuff. I'm on a news channel, and then not to get views only if you talk about leaks and rumors. That was killing me. Now I can go back to just talking news for Nintendo and just talking about products. I mean, look, you guys. Now I can show you this baby. Look at this baby. Look at this. Look at this. You know, who doesn't want to? I'm going to take this with me to Dallas. Say, hey, can I get an hour extra in my wallet? They probably think I'm going to offer them money. Like, no, I'm just showing you Yoshi. You know, I'm a fan.
A thing of beauty,
right? So I think that is the last question. Anybody else saw a question in that we missed? Let's see here. I think that was the last question.
I think that was it.
I think so. Oh, I think I got one. But is this? Let me know because I really can't see anymore. My eyes are shot.
Thank you, Ryan Ostrowski. I hope I said that correctly. Is all excuse me. Is all Nintendo Switch 1 games are 4K on Nintendo Switch 2? Or Nintendo Switch 1 games? Do they automatically get up to 4K on Switch 2?
I can confidently say 2K. Upscale. Via upscale. I would say not 4K, but 2K. Up to 1440p. Like regular Nintendo Switch games upscaled via because I remember one of the patents showing that AI upscaling, and they mentioned all games from Switch are going to look better on Switch 2. When they say look better, of course they're not just talking about the contrast; they're talking about resolution. And so I could maybe not 4K. I would say 4K for those games that get patches, right? Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, those bigger games are going to be played in 4K. And any other game they release patches for, I think this is only the beginning, and eventually games will start getting patches, even third-party games, right? That are on Switch. Developers want to release patches for those games so that those games continue on living on Switch too, But yeah, what do you guys think?
I only know what we've seen, right? As far as like the games that we were talking about earlier that have like the free upgrade path, and then obviously the ones with the paid upgrade path. I would assume, based on how technology has been throughout the years, that your Xbox would make your Xbox One would make your 360 games look better, right? Like it was. So I'm assuming everything will just at least at the very least run smoother with the extra horsepower, is my gut feeling. I wish they were. It would be nice to get a little more information from them on all this, on is there like a native upscaling that's free for everything, and then certain games are going to take advantage of the DLSS and like the performance mode and that kind of stuff. Like it would be nice to hear more from Nintendo on this topic.
Yeah. So
I've been running this thing called the M Classic since I heard about it. So I've always played Switch in 4K. It runs in line on your HDMI cable, and so I've literally always played in 4K, but it's just a little up converter. The
upscaler, the little upscaler thing. Yeah. So officially, I found the answer for you. This is PC Mag reporting for this. It says some titles will look exactly the same but run better, okay, and others will be enhanced. So it's like the officially announced enhanced games are enhanced to be Nintendo Switch 2. That's why they say editions on them. And then all the other free updates we're gonna get. There are other updates that are free. They're gonna get those enhancements, but for free. And that's it. Yeah. So every Nintendo game on Switch 2 will look the same, but run better. And those games that Nintendo already announced so far, with Switch 2 editions or enhanced, will get upgraded resolution. Source: PCMag.com/news/how to do Switch 1 game /automatically/look dash on dash. Okay, I'm gonna read that thing.
Nice, the SEO lesson.
Yeah. All right. So, any other questions?
I see one that just came in.
Okay.
From Cryptic.
Cryptic. Is this last one right here?
Yeah.
Want to go ahead and read it?
Sure, no problem. It says, do you think games like Smash or AC are going to get a Switch 2 edition game with extra content, or should we expect new entries?
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
Yeah. I feel like Animal Crossing in particular could get the treatment. Depending on how, what the development cycle's been like for the
new one, for
the new game.
Yeah.
Smash is a bit of a conundrum because I don't think, I know for me personally, as an avid Smash player, I don't care about it necessarily running better. I need the online to run better.
Yeah.
I want rollback and better networking so that the game just plays better in that regard. So personally, I hope it doesn't get a Switch 2 edition unless it includes an entirely different online, but I don't know that would work out because it wouldn't necessarily be cross play with the older copies of that game if they did that. So it's a really good question. Again, Animal Crossing, make the island, double the size of the island, and let more villagers move in, add some more content, and make the game. I mean, I literally I used to tour people's islands, and like there were islands with so many fish in like fish tanks everywhere that it would just chug. The whole game would just chug. It was
remember
insane. Yeah. It was. I would do Animal Crossing cribs, is what I would call it. We would just go and do island tours all the time. So, a free patch for Smash. Let's do it. Like whatever. If it's paid, I would much rather see a deluxe version of Ultimate that had rollback and new fighter passes and a bunch of new first party characters included in the game. That's just my personal preference, though.
Yeah, and so just to confirm, as of right now, some free updates for select Nintendo Switch games will be rolling out. And so we have a list of games that have the update already. Arms, no legs. We got Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. It's for me. Clubhouse games, don't know why. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, that one's good. Echoes of Wisdom. Garage Builder, don't know why. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Scarlet and Violet, and Big Brain Academy are the first ones getting these updates. Improve playability and visual. So I mean, at least those are getting those little free updates there for those. That's Animal Crossing. I want a brand new game, completely brand new game. I don't know what they're gonna go next. Animal Crossing Worlds. This is just like Mario Kart. If you let me talk about Animal Crossing, we'll do another podcast because I want them to add a shop where you can buy and trade your stuff, and you can list your the stuff that you collect. You have duplicates of, so you can trade them or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Instead of having to go to eBay and try to find it, But yeah, we'll talk about that another day. And that is the last question. Thank you so much, Scripted, for that question. Do you have another one?
I want to throw this out just
I'll throw it out
for Wonder.
For Wonder,
for Mario Wonder. I'm hoping that they do a Switch 2 version around the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, and they make the entire first Super Mario Brothers game, have it done in Wonder.
That'd be awesome.
Just to have like Wonder seeds pop up and but then see it looking totally modern, but being able to revisit that, I think would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'll be awesome. I there is a new trademark for Super Mario Brothers, so other than the one that exists for NES, so who knows? All right, we got a super chat here from Justin Richards. Thank you for the super chat. Do you think pre-ordering at GameStop is a bad idea? In person, no. If you pre-order in person, it's a great idea because you don't have to give all your money up in front. You just have to give a down payment and then come back and you can pay over time if you want to do that. Online, just like anything, there's always a risk of delays and stuff like that. There's also so far all the pre-order links are on the website. I really can't recommend based on experience. Paul, do you have experience? Anybody in the chat have experience pre-ordering online with any stores and had any great success that you want to recommend?
I've pre-ordered online before. No problems.
Yeah.
My collector's edition, like my Street Fighter 6 collector's edition, was from GameStop, and that came to the house no problem. I remember when Nintendo Switch came out, I pre-ordered through Best Buy, and I went in person for the heck of it to camp out also, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, pre-ordering online is fine. But you asked specifically about GameStop, and GameStop, some people have not had the best experience, but then again, that goes with any store, anywhere, any food restaurant. But for me, GameStop specifically, I've never had any issues.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably the biggest concern is them shutting their door, like closing their doors before the release, just because they seem to be. We know a lot of stores have been closing as of recent, so it's just.
They just opened one of my near me.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, they probably consolidating because they wouldn't be taking pre-orders, or they probably redirect your pre-order to another store. You know,
more than likely, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Boom Mini with Super Chat. Oh, Paul, Gail, Natwer, how was the OOT remake? The world needs to know.
Okay, so behind closed doors, Nintendo did have one game, and it was and that's probably going to be the best game that comes out next year.
Wow.
I knew it.
Because
Hey Paul, did it also have the that thing next to that secret room in that place?
It had it.
Oh,
It just looks that much better now.
coming 2026.
Listen, when I get wait, did you have to sign any NDA? Like for real, did you have to sign any NDA when you were there?
No, but I did sign something because they asked me if I'd like to be interviewed. So I did do that. So the only thing I signed today was to release myself for video form to be a part of like a commercial package or something like that.
Okay, yeah. I heard that I think Woods got signed. Everybody has to sign it the same thing just in case they pick you. You get to get a call back and stuff like that for interviews and also for video they use the video footage of you to show for their commercials and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, thank you so much, Boo Mini. Appreciate you. And my friends, wait, we have more.
I've got a roll, by the way. So I know we're wrapping up, but
yeah, we are wrapping up. So let's go ahead and start with Paul Gill Network. Where can we find you?
Okay, cool. Not to rush, but yeah, I am on X, I am on YouTube, I am on other social media platforms, but those are the ones that I'm on the most frequently. I am at Paul Gale Network on both. If you were interested, or if you enjoyed, I should say, my Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct Countdown series, I'm doing a Nintendo Switch 2 release date countdown series, in which tomorrow we will have 54 days left until the Nintendo Switch 2 releases. And yeah, if you're curious about what my hands-on impressions look like, as we speak now, uploading to my YouTube channel is 16 videos from today's experience, and I will put up more on Sunday. So thank you for having me on.
All right, Paul, thank you so much for sharing your experience with us today. Hype is real now. Over to N64 Josh.
Yeah, guys, I'm N64 Josh everywhere. YouTube, TikTok. Love to connect with as many people as possible. So I also stream Mario Kart fairly regularly. So if you wanna get some races in and probably get hit with a backed green shell, come race with us. It's a good time.
All right, thank you so much, N64 Josh. And you also have a podcast, right?
The Nintendo Powercast. Yep. Wherever we did episode 502, and it's also a daily news show. Should be starting back up to daily episodes starting Monday. So
awesome! Thank you so much for sharing that information, and thank you so much for being with us today. And by the way, if you guys didn't know, N64 Josh is our newest co-host on the podcast. He's joining the crew, the family, the families, like the Godfather, and of course Joycey J, Zelda's mama. Where can we find you, Joyce?
You can find me in Hyrule. I'm visiting Hateno Village simply because I love the music. Seriously, you can follow me on Twitter. I will never ever call it anything other than that. At DJ Joycey. You can also, of course, see me every Friday here on the Nintopics podcast.
Nice. Thank you so much, Joycey. And you can find me at Mike Odyssey at the Mike Odyssey channel. And here at the Nintendo Podcast every single Friday. Indie Mania is coming soon. We had a good meeting today. We'll put Paul up to date because today was a crazy day. Well, not NT4 Jaws. Wasn't he? It was Stash.
Yes. Thunder Stash.
It's late. And so yeah, there's a lot going on. I am restructuring the channel. We're bringing back live news. We're doing more lives. I did the 24-hour lives so I can prove myself that I can do lives, right? That I can actually extend my lives thingy. But that is that. Just stay tuned. Hit subscribe. Turn on that bell for notifications, and you'll find out all the latest. And that will leave you guys. So next time, but before we let you go, we got two things we got to let you know. The most important things this weekend. Number one, Paul.
Never give up.
Oh, number one.
Never give up.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Paul almost gave up. Never give up. And Josh, what's the second thing?
Never surrender.
Never surrender.
Well, that too, but
it's like never give up. Journey on. Journey on, guys. Never give up and journey on.
There we go. That's what I meant.
Friends, take care. I'm gonna find that end button here real quick.